This is David Flash Gordon. For 2 years, he's had a hammerlock on the World Championship. He was cruising along to an unprecedented third consecutive title until this young man, 15-year-old Jammin' Jeff Jacobs, exploded on the scene, racking up world title points. Now Jacobs and Gordon are in a virtual tie for the championship. The world title and more are on the line at this, jet skiing's most prestigious event, the World Jet Ski Finals. Welcome to Lake Havasu City, Arizona for the culminating event of the International Jet Ski Boating Association World Tour. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Chamberlain. We talked about the point situation. Right now it is tighter than a new pair of shoes, and we'll watch that story unfold all day long. You'll be seeing slalom racing. It always proves to be exciting. And in addition to that, you'll be seeing the closed course. It's compared to motocross racing on water. You'll also see the New York Seltzer ramp jump contest. They hit about 50 miles per hour, hit the ramp, and fly. Well, the world record is 91 feet. And if somebody can break that here today, it's worth an extra $1,000. And we will briefly be leaving the shores of Lake Havasu for the pounding surf of the Pacific Ocean. We'll take you there to show you some wave jumping. So glad that you could spend some time with us today. We're glad you're here for the thrills, and I will guarantee you the spills of jet skiing at the World Jet Ski Finals. We'll be back.
The World Jet Ski Finals is a presentation of the International Jet Ski Boating Association, the sanctioning organization for jet ski racing and activities. And we're brought to you by Kawasaki. Let the good times roll.
Welcome back for some more jet ski action.
Welcome back to Lake Havasu City, Arizona for the culminating event of the International Jet Ski Boating Association World Tour, the World Jet Ski Finals. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Chamberlain. Joining me, a former pro jet skier himself and a guy that knows everything about the sport, Mark Lauber. And Mark, we've talked about David Gordon, a two-time world champion, up against the youngster Jammin' Jeff Jacobs. Who else are we going to see here today?
Without a doubt, anytime you have a jet ski race, you have to keep the name Rippenkroger in mind. Larry Rippenkroger won both Superstock and Closed Course here last year, and he's looking to repeat. He's got something to prove. He's had a tough year, so you got to look out for Rippenkroger. Other names to look out for: Harry Gocher, Derek Peterson, Pat Helfrich, and Scott Watkins. Any one of these guys could pull off an upset.
Mark, let's not forget the women. Now, Brenda Burns has already wrapped up the world title, but there are a number of other competitors here today that really deserve recognition.
Absolutely. The girl that's been running in second place all year long is Karen Jacobs. She is definitely the second favorite after Brenda Burns. The girl from Osaka, Japan, Matsuguchi, is also an excellent racer, rounding out part of our international field. Bonnie Hart could be a dark horse and pull off an upset as well. Women's division has been getting stronger and stronger every year. They're on extremely fast skis, but I'd have to say, without a doubt, Brenda Burns is our favorite here this weekend.
Well, we know that because she is the world champion, hands down. She's already gained that title before even coming to Lake Havasu this year. Now let's talk about the events. What are we going to be seeing out in the water this afternoon?
The first event we'll be seeing will be slalom. It's a lot like downhill snow skiing. Fastest time wins. They're running against the clock. Two people racing on adjacent courses, and it's a race of skill and finesse. The other type of racing we'll be seeing is closed course. That's where we have in the pro class up to 16 racers lined up on the starting line with their holders. They'll blast off the starting line in a drag race to the first buoy, and then they negotiate left and right-hand turns. Much like motocross on the water, it's one of the most exciting types of racing.
Well, now we also have a couple of other events. We'll see the freestyle here this afternoon. We're going to take you to the Pacific Ocean to watch some wave jumping, and that's a great thing to see. And talk about jumping, I want you to talk about an event here. It's called the New York Seltzer Jump Ramp, and it's very exciting.
You bet. It's never been held here at the World Finals before, and the current record is held by David Gordon, 91 feet, and that's getting some air. They're going to be hitting that jump, going full speed, almost 50 miles an hour on the straightaway, and they're just just going to be flying. They have to hold on to the ski when they come down. That's a very important part of the jump competition. You mentioned one other exhibition that we're going to be having out here, something that's very familiar. It's a crowd favorite, Mike. I know one of yours as well.
Yeah, it is.
The Freestyle. And this year, I'm sure we're going to see brand new tricks. You never know what's going to happen in that event.
Now it's time to meet the third member of our broadcast team. His name is Steve Jam, and he's down on the beach right now with the Vice President of the International Jet Ski Boating Association, Bruce Cernstrom.
Bruce, it's quite an event. Can you tell us a little bit about what the IJSBA does during the course of a racing season?
Yes, we have over 14 events in a year, and this is our finale of the season. We're offering over $30,000 in prize money this weekend.
I see. And how many riders do we have out here today?
We had over 600 riders in our racing event, plus another 300 that participated yesterday in our poker run.
I see. So this is the largest field that's ever been assembled.
The largest field, and not only that, but a large international field with riders from Japan, from England, Sweden, Belgium, and several other countries, including Australia.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a great event today. Very exciting. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Steve. And earlier today, the competition got underway with what's known as the slalom event, Mark.
We're going to take a look back at a very technical sport that's often decided by split seconds, Mike.
Well, as we mentioned before, Mark, this is not head-to-head competition. These riders are actually racing the clock, not themselves.
That's right, Mike. Slalom racing is a timed event. The clock starts when the racers enter the gate. Then they zigzag through a series of buoys. It takes split-second timing, tremendous agility, and, of course, a fast ski. As you can see with number 55, Harry Gocher, the technique is to ride into the turn, lay the jet ski on its side, and pass as close to the buoy as possible. Then power through the turn and accelerate to the next buoy. They round the final turn, then back through the course and the finish gate. Each racer will run two courses, the red and the blue course. The lowest combined time wins. The difference between first and second place is usually just hundredths of a second. These riders can't afford to have even the slightest break in concentration.
Well, a slalom win is worth 20 points toward the World Championship. Coming into the final round, the top qualifiers have been number 5, Chuck Williamson, pro slalom defending champion Scott Watkins, and both Dave Gordon and Jeff Jacobs.
Dave Gordon has 497 points, just 3 points behind Jeff Jacobs. A win here, or at least a top 3 showing, is necessary for him to stay in the race for the world title. Both racers have trained hard for this event, and you can bet they really want to win, Mike.
You know, right now I think it's real important to do well in the slalom and basically take it right from the start. You know, if I can do well in the slalom and at least equal us up. Right now, Jeff is 3 points up on me, so that's a little bit of a scary thought. But I'm going to try and do as well in the slalom as I can.
Well, is there one event that you think that you're really going to have to do well in to beat David?
That'd have to be slalom. Slalom is, you know, you're out there by yourself and you got to concentrate. You don't have to worry about the machinery. You don't have to worry about, you know, the power and stuff. You just have to worry about handling, concentration, and hopefully I can go out there and be as calm and as smooth as I can be and pull off a win.
Well, for either Dave Gordon or Jeff Jacobs to win, they'll have to beat the current leader, Larry Rippenkroker, who has the final round fastest combined time of 68.11 seconds. This is the second race on the course for Gordon and Williamson. They both had first race times of under 34 seconds, so we could easily have a new leader here, Mark.
Last year, David Gordon finished second behind Scott Watkins in this event, so I'd really like to come back and win this event and go ahead in the points race. Chuck Williamson, who has worn the number 5 plate all year, won the overall 550 slalom championship in both 85 and 86, so he's had plenty of experience pulling out a win when it counts.
Chuck Williams' second run was a disappointing 38.9 seconds, but Dave Gordon came in with a time of 34.91 seconds, a combined time of 67.63 seconds, and we've got a new leader. Jeff Jacobs and Scott Watkins were the two top qualifiers. Scott Watkins won both the 550 and the pro modified slalom events last year here at the World Finals. This year there is only one pro slalom class, and the racers can ride any size jet ski they want to.
Both Scott and Jeff had first course times of under 33 seconds, so either rider could take the win here, Mike. Both of their styles are successful, but very different. Scott drags a leg around almost every buoy, where Jeff keeps his feet firmly planted on the ski.
Jeff's second race time was 34.42, a combined time of 66.57 to win the men's pro slalom event. But more important than that, he adds 20 points to his world points total. Scott Watkins finished second, David Gordon was third.
Gordon's third place finish is worth 13 points, so with the win, Jeff goes up 10 points ahead of David Gordon.
And Steve Jam was there to talk to a very happy Jammin' Jeff Jacobs.
In the battle for the World Points Championship, Jeff Jacobs has just extended his lead by taking the men's slalom. Jeff, you must be pretty excited. How do you feel right now?
I'm a little tired right now, but you know, I came into this event. I practiced all, you know, since the last race, all month long. I've been out at this little pond we got for just about every day, and it gets kind of boring, but it paid off right here.
So, Mike, these were the men's pro slalom final standings, with Jeff Jacobs taking the title, Watkins second, followed by David Gordon, Larry Rippenkroger, and Mike Yelich.
Coming up next, I can't kid you, my favorite part of the competition. It's called the Freestyle, and there's always a surprise waiting for us when it comes to this event, and we'll get right to it after this. Welcome back to beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona. A little bit later in the show, you're going to see the New York Seltzer jump ramp. Now, this is a very exciting thing. As a matter of fact, our Steve Jam is standing by, and we do mean standing by.
Thanks, Mike. I'm standing right on the ramp right now. As you can see behind me is the area that the skiers will be approaching from. They'll hit this ramp. There's about 18 feet of flat surface that they will be coming up. The ramp itself is about 5 feet high, and it's about a 25-degree angle, so that should get them up in the air pretty high. We should see some spectacular results from that. Back to you.
Coming up next, I can't kid you, my favorite part of the competition. They call it the Freestyle. Anything goes in this event. You'll see what I mean as we turn our attention to the Freestyle competition.
Mike, the Freestyle event is always a big crowd favorite at these events. Each rider designs a 2-minute routine that combines various jumps, tricks, and maneuvers. A panel of 5 judges scores the riders on how well they perform the maneuvers and their transitions from one trick to the next. Keep in mind that these are the top riders in the world, and our viewers who also ride jet skis should realize that some of these tricks can be very dangerous.
Well, okay, there's a good example. Okay, Mark, first up is Bob Aldos from Olympia, Washington, and he's using an X2 for his freestyle routine.
First time in the World Finals, an X2 has been used, and he is really handling it well. The handle pull's a little shorter. Here he is doing a headstand, totally in control. Now flips back down. He's getting ready for his next trick. He's going to go underneath the jet ski and pop up on the back.
I can't believe he continues to go. A good routine, a good score, a 46.0 for Bob Aldos. Next up, Larry the Ripper Rippenkroger. Larry is a 2-time freestyle world champion.
You never know what to expect from Larry. He's a real innovator, Mike. Here he is, balancing one foot on the ski, dragging the other, turning the jet ski in a 360-degree tailspin. Look at the upper body strength on him. He really works out all year long. Now he's going barefoot backwards. He's going to catch a foot here and wipe out in front of the jet ski. That is one of the dangerous tricks we were talking about. Now he's going to go over the log jump and submarine it, but can't pull it out.
Well, Mark, I'm afraid those 2 mistakes cost Larry, but still a good score for the Ripper. Next, Scott Watkins from Hollywood, Florida. He was second in this event last year.
Not as strong as event slalom is. There's a buck and bronco move. The crowd loves this action from Scott Watkins. There's another wild jump. Looks like he's in the rodeo, Mike. Look at that control. Incredible. He whips the ski up in the air and sideways at the same time. Now he's cross-legged on the rails and also jumping the ski at the same time. Incredible control of this machine. Over the log jump and into a submarine, pulls it out cleanly.
Well, it's a good score, but not enough to go ahead of Bob Aldos, even though the crowd roars their approval. Here's our Australian entry, Richard Payne. He's got quite a reputation for, well, being a crazy rider.
He's the only Australian on the complete world point circuit, Mike. He does a lot of wave jumping back in Australia and helps his control. Here he is standing on the hood cover, back down onto the tray, whips it into a tight turn. Incredible the way he slides that machine. Up into a tailspin, spins at the same time, very quick. Now he tells everybody to move away from the shore. He approaches it and tries a flip, but loses control.
Well, we don't recommend you try this at home. Basic face plant right into the sand here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And Richard Payne impressed the judges enough to take the lead with that one, but still left defending champion David Gordon.
Gordon has really mastered this event. He has tremendous concentration, and he does all of his routine right in front of the judges. Trains all year long. Look at the concentration in his eyes. You got to be quick. Look at David Gordon in a tight spin. He's happy with himself. You can tell by the expression on his face. Whips it up into a 360-degree tailspin. Once again, look at the muscles rippling on his arm. He'll pull out of that tailspin, go into his next maneuver. A submarine.
And he goes right under the log jump, periscope up. He gets enough points to win the title again this year. Flash Gordon.
What of the tricks do you feel really put you over the top? I feel going under the bunny hop. That's a real powerful trick. You know, I dive my jet ski under the bunny hop and then come out of it driving out, standing on my feet. And that trick has always helped me. It helped me last year and helped me again this year.
It certainly did. You successfully defended your championship for the second year in a row. Congratulations, Dave.
Thanks a lot.
Our congratulations to David Gordon for taking the title for the second straight year.
And Mike, congratulations to all of our competitors in this event, with Gordon first, followed by Richard Payne, Bob Aldos, Scott Watkins, and Larry Rippenkroger.
Mike Chamberlain along with Mark Lauber. We're set now for the Pro Superstock. And why don't you, first of all, set up the Superstock? What's it all about?
We have two close course races going to be occurring today, Superstock and Modified. Going into this race, David Gordon is 10 points behind Jeff Jacobs. Very important race. First place will garner 20 points. So the pressure is on both Gordon and Jacobs to finish very strong in this event, Mike.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's turn our attention. I think they're ready on the starting line for the Pro Superstock. It's Jammin' Jeff against Flash Gordon. Let's check it out.
Mike, Pro Superstock on the line. The pole position belongs to the fastest qualifier yesterday, number 51, Jeff Jacobs out of El Cajon, California. And next to him, number 1, David Gordon. You couldn't ask for a better setup. Mike, they're winding up their engines.
Okay, it's getting down to this. This is a very tense time for all of them. They've waited through days of qualifying, and it gets down to this. The starter will drop the flag, and when it goes, the elastic band will drop, and there they go. It looks like Jacobs did not get a great start, but made up for it, Mark, and he's moving his way to that first buoy, where they will make their first left-hand turn, and there they go. They fight for it, and
it's Larry Rippenkroger at the outside, but now Jeff Jacobs takes the early lead.
It's amazing. The Ripper came from out of nowhere, took over the lead, made a very wide turn off the buoy, and that allowed Jacobs to come right back into it.
Right now it's Jeff Jacobs in the lead, followed by Larry Rippenkroger. Harry Gocher back in third. And this is going to be a battle to the finish. Rippenkroger, having kind of squirrely legs right there, went down for the second time in this early part of the race. Now, Jeff Jacobs setting up for log jump 1. He's got some waves that he has to contend with log jump 2.
And in his wake is the Ripper, who could not handle the immediate whitewater. He went down for a second and manages somehow to pull it out.
Gocher, having some boat problems, was in third, now drops back, allows Derek Peterson to move up to third, Scott Watkins in fourth. But it's Jeff Jacobs once again, who had 13 first-place finishes throughout the 1987 season, out in the lead, Mike.
And Harry Gocher is out of the race. He was in third place throughout the first lap, but now he's dead in the water. He's going to be towed off the course. Tough luck for Harry Gocher, but on the left side of our course, it's young Jeff Jacobs, followed by the veteran Larry Rippenkroger, the Ripper, who has 2 World Championships, 2 World Cup Championships, and has won this event last year, is really pouring it on to overtake Jammin' Jeff Jacobs. But Jeff really has his sights on that national championship.
Lots of action already in this race. Off the start, it was Jacobs, David Gordon, and Harry Gocher all side by side. Jacobs had the inside track and wound up pulling away from the rest of the crew. It's the young and the old, 16-year-old Jeff Jacobs in the lead, being followed by 30-year-old Larry Rippenkroger.
And more important than that, with a win here, Jammin' Jeff Jacobs could go away with the world title. He could wrap it up right here. 20 points available to the winner of the Superstock event here today, and another rider goes down, and they're falling like flies out here, Mark.
That's Derek Peterson, who had trouble just before log jump 3. And amazingly, Scott Watkins, who did not have a good start, is now in the third position. Derek Peterson back and forth in a collision after log jump number 3 between Art Chambers, and I can't make out the other number, but back on the left side of the track in the flaming pink wetsuit is Jeff Jacobs. And Larry Rippenkroger, looking to be the spoiler. You know, he's a 2-time defending champion, and he's on the left side of the track. he is making up some distance on Jeff Jacobs.
Flash Gordon running in about 6th place right now. He needs to make up a lot of room. He's the only man that can challenge Jeff Jacobs at the moment, and he's having some trouble back in the whitewater. But nonetheless, here they come again down the main stretch, and it's log jump number 1 for Jeff Jacobs, followed right behind Larry Rippenkroger. Look at him getting air after they come off the log jump, and they'll encounter the final log jump at the end of the course, and then they will send themselves out on yet another lap of this 15-lap race.
David Gordon looking to be in about 10th place right now, and that could make Jeff Jacobs the winner of the points championship, but it's going to be an exciting race down to the wire as Rippenkroger really making up some distance on Jacobs again on the right side of the track.
Can Jeff Jacobs hold on to the lead in the Superstock? We'll find out when we return after these words. And even though Mark Lauber no longer races jet skis, he still gets involved in the competition. You'll see what we mean when we come back. Welcome back to the World Jet Ski Finals and the conclusion of the men's Superstock closed course race. Here comes Jammin' Jeff. He's going to count for log jump number 1 up and over very smoothly. Log jump number 2, like a pro that he is. He takes it easily, and it's Larry right behind him to make a sharp right turn at the yellow buoy, a sharp left here at the red, and one more log jump. Jammin' Jeff up and over.
He looks very smooth. No problems at all. Concentration is probably the biggest factor right now. He looks over his right shoulder again. He should be thinking more about what's in front of him than what's behind him.
Flash Gordon currently in 8th place. He knew this would be a tough race to win. Earlier, he talked with our Steve Jam.
Jeff Jacobs, although is riding pretty good, so he's going to be real competitive. And also, there's Larry Rippenkroger out there, Mike Castrucci, Pat Helford, Derek Peterson. There's a lot of other riders out there that actually can win the race, but the most important thing for me to do is beat Jeff.
Well, Dave Gordon is not going to beat Jeff Jacobs today. He misses that buoy, and he's actually going to go back around, and I don't think he's going to finish high enough to stay in the run for the World Championship, Mike.
Well, how about this? Jammin' Jeff Jacobs, winner of the Novice and Expert Championships the last 2 years, is just 1 lap away from his first Pro World Championship title.
I've won 2 belts before. I just hope I can come into this weekend and, just consistent as I can, top in the, place in the top 3 or 5, and maybe win another one.
Well, Jeff Jacobs has said it pure and simple. He wants to be the best jet skier in the world, wants to win numerous titles, and judging from his performance so far here today, you'd say he's well on his way to his first one, no question about it. Well, still in 2nd place is Larry Rippenkroger. He's running a good race, Mark, but I've got my doubts that he can catch Jeff Jacobs.
Back on the left side of the track, Jacobs with now a sizable lead over Rippenkroger, and you see him standing up straight on the machine, relaxing just a little. And Jeff Jacobs is about to become the 1987 Pro World Champion, Mike.
He's going to encounter a couple of the far left side buoys, and then he looks right ahead at the log jumps, which of course means for him the win in the Pro Superstock division. And here it comes. Jammin' Jeff Jacobs takes the checkered flag, and up in the air he goes.
With one hand, boy, he is really something else. The pressure now off of Jeff. He can go out into that modified race and let it all hang out. In second, it'll be Larry Rippenkroger, the veteran.
Well, David Gordon is far enough back in the pack that Jeff Jacobs takes more than a 20-point lead on the points race, guaranteeing that he is the new world champion at 16 years of age. Finishing behind Jeff and the Ripper is Scott Watkins, Derek Peterson, and Chris Fischetti. Let's go down to Steve Jam and a very excited, I might add, Jeff Jacobs.
Well, we just got the word, Jeff, that you have clinched the title. You picked up another 20 points with that first place win, so you are the new world champion. How does that feel?
Feels great. I can't be happier.
That's terrific. Well, now you still got some events to run. You're going to just kind of pack it up and go home, or you're going to stay out here today?
Well, the adrenaline flow has kind of calmed down a little more for modified. Superstock, I was so pumped up. I couldn't help myself, so I just got out there, and modified is going to be a little relaxed. I'm going to relax just a little more, and hopefully maybe I can get another first. You never know.
And again, our congratulations to Jeff Jacobs, the new World Jet Ski Champion. However, Mark, Jeff is not the only world champion out here today.
That's right, Mike. 21-year-old Brenda Burns already had the Women's Pro Championship wrapped up coming into this event. The ladies' tour gets stronger and stronger every year, and one of Brenda's main competitors all year has been Jeff Jacobs' mother, Karen Jacobs. Karen won the 1986 World Cup, and she's been ranked #2 all year, just behind Brenda Burns.
Other top women riders include number 31, Bonnie Hart from Redondo Beach, California. Bonnie and Karen were among the top qualifiers in the slalom and the closed course events. Both women riding fast skis and showing good form here in the slalom.
Karen Jacobs finished third in the slalom and second in the closed course. Both Karen and Bonnie show lots of determination and skill on these very fast jet skis. Other top women racers include Sandra Petrosini from Oceanside, California, and Komiko Matsuguchi from Japan, rounding out a large international field. Sandra Petrosini on boat number 21 finished 5th in the slalom and 6th in the closed course. Komiko, number 78, at the top of the screen, finished 5th in closed course and 2nd in slalom, Mike.
Well, the weekend belonged to Brenda Burns. Brenda won the World Final Slalom title in '83 and the Closed Course Championship in '83, '84, and '85. This year, she came back to win both championships and, of course, the Women's Pro title.
You know, Mike, Brenda Burns just gets better and better every year. Brenda also took the 1987 World Cup Freestyle Championship with an amazing routine that the crowd went crazy over. And although this year there wasn't a women's freestyle event at the World Finals, Brenda entered the Pro Freestyle and competed against the men, something virtually unheard of in our sport. Brenda used to live in Kansas and now trains very hard in California. With the warm weather, she has a lot more time to practice. She adds her own feminine touch to her routine, as well as demonstrating the strength and agility maneuvers. And she's going to go into a stall right here, which is very difficult. She's balancing the jet ski, and it gave her an overall score of 40.5 points, which gave her a final finishing position of 8th place in the men's freestyle competition. And the new world champion talked with our Steve Jam.
Brenda Burns is the new world champion for the women. Brenda, you've done this 3 times already. This is the 4th time. How does it feel?
It feels real good.
And what do you think was the event or events that really pulled it through for you?
I would have to say closed course. I had a good year. I've only lost 3, but my main competitor is Karen Jacobs, and she's really good.
Well, what's in the future for you now?
Well, I'll go home, rest a little bit, then I'll start training again and come out and do it again next year.
Great. Well, Brenda, congratulations on another world championship, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you very much.
Mark, while we have the top women jet skiers here at the finals, the sport of jet skiing seems to attract women of all different types.
Have you ever been on a jet ski?
Of course. Jet
All these-
skis, all right.
All right, all these girls love jet skis.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Mark, you're not racing anymore, but you are still in the competition, my friend.
And Mike, I volunteer for all the tough assignments. As part of the weekend festivities, I got the tough job of emceeing a bathing suit contest. The models and the prize money were provided by New York Seltzer. One of the fun aspects of jet skiing is that you have to be near the water, and luckily, most people dress for it. And Mike, it was up to the crowd to pick a winner. See, they really loved everything that was going on. Just part of the fun at the World Jet Ski Finals.
When we come back, we're going to leave Lake Havasu for the pounding winter surf of Hawaii's Bonsai Pipeline. Wavebuster Randy Lane may not have to contend with a pack of racers, but he's got a bigger problem to conquer. We'll be right back. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to more of the World Jet Ski Finals here at Lake Havasu City, Arizona. There is an event taking place this weekend that really has nothing to do with speed on a jet ski, but rather it falls under the banner of fun. And Steve Jam takes us now on the poker run.
The Three Boys Houseboat Vacation Poker Run begins with a cruise under the London Bridge. Amid all the excitement of jet ski racing, in the crowded shores of Lake Havasu lies Lake Havasu City, where a variety of activities take place on a more relaxed level. Situated at the base of the London Bridge along the water's edge is the English Village. This replica of a small English hamlet contains traditional English shops and offers a variety of entertainment, shopping, crafts, and fine food. And if shopping isn't your style, the village is a great place to sit, relax, and enjoy the view. There are tour boats available so that tourists can get a water-level view of the bridge, the village, and the lake itself. The London Bridge at Lake Havasu City, a beautiful bit of Old England in the Arizona desert. And this beautiful setting is the beginning point of the Three Buoys Houseboat Vacations Poker Run. The poker run isn't really a race. It's open to anyone, and it's all done in the name of just plain fun. The entrance right under the bridge, past the village and out the channel to the lake itself. The course includes several checkpoints spread out around Lake Havasu, and at each checkpoint, the riders have their wristbands punched to prove they've made the entire circuit. Then it's back for the poker draw.
Now this is the finishing point for the poker run. We're back at the Nautical Inn. Everybody has come back here. They're verified that they've been to all the checkpoints. They line up and they draw 5 cards out of a box. It's a random type deal, and whatever that 5-card hand turns out to be, it's all written down on a chart. The results are tallied up and the winners are announced at a barbecue, which is held right after this event. Everybody's having a good time. Let's see who's going to win this thing.
And our overall winner of the poker run with a full house again, 3 9s and 2 aces.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's now time to leave Arizona for a place you probably wouldn't associate with jet skiing. The winter surf on the north shore of Oahu is a legend among surfers, but jet skiers? You're watching Randy Lane, a member of the Wave Busters, a team of jet skiers who do daredevil demonstrations of jet ski riding and jumping. The Wave Busters combine riding with freestyle moves like one-handed jumps. And while Randy may not have to contend with a field of 16 other racers blasting off the starting line and into a tight turn, there's nothing easy or safe to wave busting.
You're moving so fast and you're watching the water, you can't take your eyes off the water ever, because you're reading a map that's constantly changing. The ocean is constantly in motion, so if you blink for a second and miss something, you're going to go down.
Well, this is something that we definitely do not recommend to novice riders. Even though Randy has the power and the maneuverability of a jet ski, one mistake here and he's tumbling through the white water with 250 pounds of metal and fiberglass. Quite a bit different than a 4-pound surfboard. But on the other hand, it saves you that long paddle out if you're a surfer. But nonetheless, this is the Bonsai Pipeline, and these waves are powerful. They break over about a 2-foot coral reef. Whether you're on a surfboard or a jet ski, it can be extremely dangerous.
Mike, here at the World Finals, we run several classes of races, like the X2. Larry Rippenkroger has become quite a fan of the X2 in competition.
These things corner so well, and they're so forgiving. They handle excellent. You can get away with so much more. You can ride into the turns well over your head and still come out of it looking good. So, without question, they're going to become a major factor in jet ski racing.
And we had another world champion crowned this weekend. Down 7 points coming into the weekend, Sheldon Messick took both the slalom and the closed course on the X2 ski.
Mike, in addition to the pro classes, the World Finals include both the novice and expert divisions in all the events. The novice events are growing tremendously every year. Remember that Jeff Jacobs was the novice world champion just 2 years ago, and expert world champion just last year. The racing classes are structured to give racers a tremendous amount of experience and some place to advance to as they become better riders. Because of the different design, we have a separate class for the X2. And we even have the veterans and the legends divisions for racers when they stop racing the pro division. Steve Jam has more on the jet ski.
Since the jet ski first made its appearance on the scene back in the early 70s, the sport's grown by leaps and bounds, and in so doing has launched an industry of products designed to support the sport of jet skiing. Here on the grounds of the Nautical Inn at Lake Havasu City is the Jet Ski Village, where manufacturers of jet skis and jet ski accessories have come to show their wares and the latest in jet skiing technology.
Mark, we have reached the real speed portion of the contest here today. They call it the Pro Modified. This is throttle out, just go for it.
The skis are going faster than ever, Mike, almost 50 miles an hour on the straightaway. It's a handful of machine to hold back, and they'll be blasting off of that line in a drag race to the first buoy. The whole shot is going to be very important in this event.
Jeff Jacobs, already the new world champion, said earlier the pressure's off, but I'm sure he'd like to make it a clean sweep today.
You're not kidding, Mike. And Dave Gordon, the fastest qualifier, has the pole position. He really wants to win this event, the last race of the year. So it's Gordon on the pole. Next to him is defending Pro Modified champion Larry Rippenkroger and the new world champ Jeff Jacobs. Listen to the whine of the engines, Mike.
Okay, this is it. This is what we're all here for, the Pro Modified. They put the pedal to the metal on this one, and watch the race to the first buoy where they bank that big left turn, because that's where it is won and lost, and they're off. It looks like the Ripro. It's Gordon and
Harry Gocher, boat number 55 from Las Vegas, Nevada, with the lead.
And Gocher leans into that far bank on the left side and came out of it with a great deal of speed. Gocher's burning up the early part of the course.
You notice they've eliminated one of the yellow buoys, so we have a very long back straightaway. It's David Gordon in second, right behind Harry Gocher. This kid is something else.
Well, he's easy to spot in that lime jet pilot wetsuit as he drops his body, banks hard left into the turn, and they'll be encountering the 3 log jumps. Here's number 1 for Gocher. Flies over it in great speed, get a little bit of air that he doesn't want, and it's Gordon that goes down in the water behind him. Gocher now going over log jump number 3, and he's on his way out for lap number 2. Harry Gocher, the leader after lap 1.
They call him Hall and Harry, and that's just what he's doing. He's got clear water in front of him, Mike. It doesn't look like they're going to catch up to him for quite a while here if he really pours on the speed.
Dave Flash Gordon, who broke from the pole position here today, is in number 2 position, and it is bunched up as they go around that far right side of buoys as Gocher acts like he's running his own race today, like he doesn't know there's anybody out there.
Well, it's David Gordon in second, Pat Helfrich in third, Larry Rippenkroger back in 4th position, and Ed Dillhofer, I believe, is in 5th. Tommy Lathrop in 6th. And on the left side of the track, Gocher digging in deep. It's going to be a long race. Gocher can handle it, though. He's a youngster.
Gocher might be a favorite here today. He is from Las Vegas, Nevada. Races all the pro classes, currently in 5th place on the World Tour, and he's running a nice race today, even doing some hot dogging as he comes down the straightaway, banks into that yellow turn, and one more left turn off the red, and over the log jump number 3, back out to lap number 3. Harry Gocher running a fine race. We're going to step aside right now. Still to come, more of the modified closed course racing, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the World Jet Ski Finals and the conclusion of the Pro Modified Closed Course race. And with just a few laps to go, Mark, we have a new leader, David Flash Gordon.
David's been running a great race, Mike. He ran in 2nd place for most of the race. Then in the 10th lap, Harry Gocher lost his balance and went down on a ski for just a second. That was all Gordon needed, and he flew past Gocher. Gordon hasn't looked back since.
Well, Gocher tried to retake the lead, but now he's dropped back. He's still in 2nd place, though. Harry Gocher having a little bad luck here today. Remember in the Superstock closed course final, Gocher was running 3rd when all of a sudden he develops boat problems and had to drop out. Now in the modified finals, he led for 10 laps only to lose the lead to Gordon, and Gordon's running away with it now, Mark.
Gocher, only 17 years old, won the Expert Modified Closed Course here last year, if you remember, Mike, and he'd really like to catch and overtake Gordon, but he only has about a lap and a half to do it.
And David Gordon looking great right now. He may have lost the World Championship today, but he is determined to win this race and walk away with a very big win.
David Gordon would really love to win this race, Mike. Last year he got caught in an early pileup and spent most of the race trying to make up time on Larry Rippenkroger. But this year he's got about a 6-second lead on Harry Gocher, and he's just finishing lap number 14.
All that stands between David Gordon and the Pro Modified title are the log jumps and one more lap. And here comes log jump number 1, up and over successfully. Log jump number 2, and he's over that successfully. There's the white flag mark signaling just one more lap to go.
Harry Gocher, just now going over the log jumps, really needs to pour on the speed, Mike, to catch David Gordon.
Well, keep in mind that these guys have been racing all day long, and Flash Gordon's got to be tired right about now. He negotiates the tight turns on the far side of the track, then powers down the back straightaway, just a half lap to go. He doesn't look like he's going to let anybody catch him now.
Mike, this is where they really pour on the speed, down the back straightaway, and it's kind of turbulent back there. The more laps that they do, the rougher it gets, and sometimes it's hard to keep your balance. Sometimes they drag the feet, as David Gordon does right there.
Well, keep in mind, David Gordon won the freestyle earlier in the day, so these guys have been busy from the morning on to the late afternoon hours. There's only now about 2 more turns to go for David Flash Gordon, and he completes the final left-hand side of the course, and then he powers down the straightaway. It's now that he'll have to encounter the final log jumps of the day, and here's log jump number 1, and after that he gets the checkered flag for the Pro Modified closed course win at the World Finals. And there's one tired but happy young man. Well, he may have lost his world title, but he goes home with the Pro Modified Championship today.
And he really wanted that big win, Mike. Harry Gocher now getting ready to make the last log jump, and he will hold on to second place. Not quite what he wanted, but still a good finish.
And here are the top finishers in the Pro Modified closed course. Let's go down to our Steve Jam with the winner, David Flash Gordon.
The mark of a true champion is the way to battle through adversity and still come out on top. David Gordon, you've had your share of adversity today, but by golly, you showed them that you're the fastest man on the water. How do you feel right now?
I feel great. This win has been long in coming. I've been waiting for 2 years for this win, and I finally got it.
Well, you certainly put a lot of distance between you. You started off actually in second place. What happened out there?
Well, Harry Gocher was on my outside, and he ended up getting the hole shot just by a little bit. I had the inside line, so I had to slow it down a little bit more, and he kept his speed going on the outside. And I'd been practicing with him up in Las Vegas, so I tried to read his riding a little bit, and I was hoping that he'd make a mistake, and eventually he did, and I took the pass.
Well, you gave him quite a race for it. It was a very dramatic finish for the season, and you gave everybody a thrill out here. Congratulations, and we'll look forward to seeing you next year, Dave.
Thanks a lot.
Something new to the World Jet Ski Finals this year is what's called the New York Seltzer ski jump. Now, they have a ramp out here in the water. They hit it at about 50 miles an hour, and, well, you'll see what I mean. Let's watch.
This is a new event to the World Finals, Mike. It's fast becoming a crowd favorite because it blends speed and definitely some thrills.
Well, it's got built-in spectator qualities to it, but this is another aspect of jet skiing that we have to caution beginners. Don't try this your first time out.
No doubt, Mike. As you can see there, it is definitely dangerous. This contest is by invitation only. The top pros are competing, and as you can see in this earlier practice jump by Pat Helfrich, it's easy to get hurt if the jump isn't done just right.
Well, the ramp has to constantly be watered down to allow a slick surface for the jumpers. Each jumper gets 2 jumps, and we're going to show you the best jump from each one of the riders.
Our first jumper is Harry Gocher. He slowed a little before takeoff, but has a good jump of 43 feet. Remember, the world's record is 91 feet held by David Gordon.
Next up is Jammin' Jeff Jacobs. He's our new overall world points champion. He hits the ramp a little bit sideways this time, makes a big splash, but hangs on for a 72-foot jump.
That was amazing that he even hung on there, Mike. Our next jumper, Richard Payne from Australia. He's used to jumping waves and shows good form on the ramp, too. 72 feet, tying him with Jeff Jacobs in the lead so far.
Coming down the line now, Tommy Lathrop gets a clean jump, almost loses it at the end. Keep in mind, a lot of these jet skiers have never jumped a ramp before.
And Mike, it's a good thing these guys are wearing helmets because it is kind of hairy out there. You want to hit the ramp at about 45 to 50 miles an hour. Watch Scott Watkins. He has good speed, weight back on the ski, good safe jumping, Mike.
And a good jump of 46 feet for Scott. Next up, Chris Fischetti with a good jump, 70 feet. He almost took the lead there, Mark.
He was going full speed when he hit the ramp, and a good jump for Chris Fischetti. Derek Peterson approaching the ramp next, and a good safe jump of 61 feet. A very good jump for Derek.
Well, they fly through the air with the greatest of ease. Next up is Mike the Hammer Castrucci, up and over. Good, a new leader at 74 feet, Mark.
Well, Mike the Hammer nailed that one. And you know, Castrucci is not a newcomer to ramp jumping. He had a great jump of 89 feet down at Cypress Gardens in the Florida World Cup. You can see as he hits the ramp, he keeps the ski straight, showing good balance in the air, a very smooth landing. That's how it's done, Mike.
And coming up next, Chuck Williamson, what appears to be a nice clean jump.
Well, Chuck is a carpenter in the offseason, Mike.
Well, may well be, but he forgot to nail this one down, only 53 feet.
Well, Pat Helfrich coming up next approaches the jump and shows the right way to ramp jump. A very good one, and only 1 foot short of Castrucci. The landing is very important, and you have to hold on to the ski to make it count.
Well, it's just that simple. The judges want you to make the jump and then successfully hold on to the ski. Here comes Larry Rippenkroger. Nice looking jump. Whitewater everywhere, 67 feet.
Well, Larry almost wiped out there, but did successfully pull it out, Mike. That leaves only David Gordon, whose first jump tied his world record of 91 feet. But as you can see, he couldn't hold on to his ski, a prerequisite of jump competition. You can see that at one point, David has both feet off the ski, and when he hit, he couldn't control his ski and totally wiped out.
Went down in the water, no question about it. Perhaps that crash still on his mind as he made his last attempt. 50 miles per hour. He hits the ramp. This time he landed safely, but he didn't have enough distance to overtake Mike the Hammer Castrucci. His second jump was only 68 feet. That left Castrucci the ramp jump winner. And on the beach we have our Steve Jam, the jammer with the hammer.
Mike the Hammer Castrucci, the winner of the ramp jump. Mike, you've become a flying hammer. Congratulations on your win. How do you feel?
Thank you very much. Well, first, I feel pretty confident going into this ramp jump. For the last 2 years, I finished second behind David and Brian Bennix when they both previously won the world record. So I felt pretty confident going into it.
We'll be right back, and we'll wrap up the entire day's events after a quick timeout. We'll be back. And we welcome you back to the conclusion of the IJSBA World Jet Ski Finals. Jammin' Jeff Jacobs is the new world champion of jet skiing. Congratulations, Jeff. And all this at 16 years of age, you must be one excited young man.
Yeah, that's right. Although it is a young sport, there's a lot of youngsters, teenagers in this sport right now. But you know, when I was back when I was 13 or so, when I won the novice class, I never thought I'd accomplish this, but you know, I just kept striving for the title.
Okay, Jeff Jacobs is the new world champion and at 16 years of age. For Mark Lauber, Steve Jam, I'm Mike Chamberlain saying thank you for joining us today from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. We'll see you again next year. For now, bye-bye. Hotel accommodations provided by the Holiday Inn at Lake Havasu City. This has been a DinoCon Sports presentation.